All right, hello. Welcome to episode. Well, I'll say it again. There's probably a little bit of a delay on the start. Hello, welcome to podcast Flavorcast, episode 3. We are your hosts, Ryan Aragon and Tryon Chima. We have some fun names
Yep.
today to celebrate our guest, who also has a fun name. Um, Anything you want to cover before we bring him on, Ryan?
Um, no, I'm excited to talk to him. Super interesting dude. I've watched his skating. I've known him for a lot of years, but just recently started really paying attention to what he's doing, both in his skating and also the music he makes. Just a super talented dude and a good, nice dude too. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to
Yeah,
him.
he's a good guy and good at things. Let's bring on said person. Is Happy Tooth. Well, you know from the title, but welcome, Happy Tooth.
Hi,
Yeah.
Also known as Colin,
what's up?
correct?
So,
Colin Ward,
yeah.
but
And is that one L or two L's?
one L.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought I would start out with what we were talking about last week when we all skated together about the name, because I thought that was pretty interesting. And so I guess not only the origins of your name, but also like the philosophy why you label the majority of not only your music, but your skating too as Happy Tooth. So you can start by talking about that a little bit.
Okay, the name comes from when I was really young. I had pretty messed up teeth, and my parents couldn't afford to give me braces for a little while. So I just had really messed up teeth, and I skateboarded when I was really young, and I actually fell at one point and kind of bit the ground and busted out my two front teeth to where it was just like a perfect fang, kind of like set of fangs, like the triangle in the middle, but it didn't hit the nerves. And I couldn't go to the dentist until that Monday because it happened on Friday. And so it was kind of like that influenced it a lot, but it was there's an atmosphere. It's a hip hop group from Minneapolis, atmosphere kind of B-side song where it's just called Happy Tooth, where they just have samples from this educational dentistry video where it's just explaining kind of you know what I mean? It's you got to brush your teeth. In the character, they call him, it's Happy Tooth. And so I had skateboarding friends at the time who they would call me that kind of in a, just I don't know, making fun of me kind of way. But then it ended up being a nickname that was just
yeah,
this thing that carried over. And so I don't know, years later I started making music and I just wanted to have a moniker or something, and that was just the thing that kept coming up. And I know it's kind of weird, but I started skating again the first time that I was out with Hawk Trackler and Stefan Brando. We were skating street, and I was like, hey, if we film any clips, I don't know why it just came to me. I just thought of it. I was like, can I be Happy Tooth? I don't really want to use my name.
yeah.
And they were like, yeah, I guess so. They just, I don't know. But looking back, I'm glad I did that, because the more I started thinking about it, the more that there's a lot of very similar names in rollerblading. And I personally am horrible with names. I try so hard. People introduce themselves to me and I'm like, such and such. I'll say it over and over again. Unless it's a weird name, I'm not going to remember it. And so,
Right.
I started, I was driving with Hawk somewhere and we were talking about names of skaters, and I had a bunch written down that I thought was really funny, but it's more just first names that are reoccurring. But there are so many Brian's in rollerblading. There are a lot of Chris's. There's a lot of I don't know, and there's a lot of very similar names. And we were talking about there's Sem Croft, there's Sam Crofts, there's Brian Shima, there's Brian Bina, there's Brian Aragon, Brian fucking Bell. I mean, there's I literally keep going. But there's a lot of Collins, Colin Kelso, Colin Martin, Colin McLeod or McLeod. I don't know how you say it. Ian, brother.
Yeah. I totally forgot about his brother. That's wild. Yeah.
Right. I just because his name's Colin that I.
Yeah, that's crazy. I totally forgot that he had a section in was it Demo Day? I think he had a section.
Yeah, that's so awesome that you mentioned it. Demo Day was it was a demo. I don't know, Demo Day, however you say it. It was the very first video that I ever got rollerblading, and I just would watch it over and over again. And was just obsessed.
No way. That was your first video?
Yeah, that's so weird that you mentioned that. Yeah, like that was.
Yeah. So I love the trilogy of film, Demo Day, and Killer Boots. And then the Neat video came after, but it was kind of, that's like a tour video, so I don't really but those core 3 videos were some of our absolute favorites. But yeah, Demo Day was your first video. That's wild. Do you know what year that was that came out? Was that 2004?
I have no idea. I probably got it a couple years later, even maybe. I'm not sure. Somebody just had a copy of it, and like we would just watch it all the time. But yeah, I just loved it because it was really artsy and weird and a lot of. And there was music in there that actually influenced me like to this day. That was the first time I ever heard Themselves, which is Dose One and Gels, like an Anticon thing. I think there's like a Buck 65 song in there. There was just a bunch of stuff in there where it was just like. That influenced years and years later. Like I just that's the kind of music I got into, started making like weird fucking hip hop stuff. So yeah, but that's awesome. That was like a weird moment where I was like, oh, that's why I call myself Happy Tooth.
Yeah, that's super interesting. That makes a lot of sense because that video did have I remember that label, the Anticon label. Is that how you say it? I think.
Yeah.
And I remember. The music in that is really close, to the type of music you make, in a way. So that's super interesting. That that makes a lot of sense for that to kind of kick off your.
You can feel a lot of that influence in your music.
Yeah, and that's why, for the longest time, I was just like, Chris Haffey's my favorite skater.
Yeah.
I want to skate Rems. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So you skateboarded before you did rollerblading? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, when I was 11 or 12, what's funny is when I was I remember being pretty young, I was 9 or 10, and I actually asked my parents for rollerblades, which I don't even remember why. I don't know. I had a friend who had rollerblades, and he would just, skate around the neighborhood, and I thought it was cool. And I was like, I want rollerblades. And I don't remember if they were too expensive or what it was, but they ended up just getting me a Walmart skateboard instead. And I was like, okay. And so I don't know. I just ended up, my parents divorced, and my dad lived in this random housing development. I would go see him on the weekends. I had nothing to do. I'd just be sitting in the parking lot, trying to learn how to ollie for 3 months straight and just sucking really bad. And I did get pretty good. And I got I liked, at one point I was deep into skateboarding, kind of I had friends, everyone was doing it. And then I just randomly, I kind of got into rollerblading because I had a friend who rollerbladed. He's the guy who showed me Demo Day, and I was like, man, I don't know, rollerblading, it's pretty sweet, but I feel like I could do all that stuff. And he's like, no, you couldn't, dude. You couldn't do it. And I'm like, whatever, where are your skates at? Let's go do it right now. And then I went and skated a little flat bar rail, and I was trying front sides and soles, and I landed when I fell really hard a bunch of times. I landed some, and I was like, I like this. I don't know. I kind of want to do this. I just kept doing it. And then, and all my skateboarding friends were like, oh man, I don't know. They all just didn't want anything to do with me. And we're just this guy, what the fuck? What are you doing? It was literally, cause it already, at the time I started skateboarding, it wasn't cool to skateboard even. It was I don't know. It was a time where you were an outcast if you did that, but let alone to start rollerblading. But and my first skates were really crappy, put together razors that were a bunch of different parts with cord wheels, and there was rattling all around. They had no heel bed, heel pads in them. So I was just flat. It was awful, but I just really liked it. And I got another pair of skates and just kept going. But yeah, at one point I was skateboarding, and I'm pretty good at skateboarding. And even I quit rollerblading for I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 years or something like that. And when I came back, I tried to start skateboarding again for a little bit, just to whatever. And I got better than I even got when I was a kid or whatever. But it was just not. It was just weird to go to the skate park. I was this older dude, and there's just no community there. It was just a bunch of little kids, and skateboarding is $1 billion industry now, and it just wasn't fun. I wasn't having fun.
Yeah.
What's funny is, this is crazy. I actually remember I was going to the lot at one point to just skateboard flat ground, because it was literally 4 months maybe that I was just I don't know, I'm bored, I want to do something. I'm and I saw you, Ryan, and a bunch of other people there. I don't know what you guys were doing, but I was just like, holy shit, all these people rollerblade? Like rollerblading? Everybody's rollerblading? Like, okay. Like, and then the thing is like, I was, my friend Kenny Shaver, I know you know Kenny Shaver probably. He was just sending me edits all the time, like just over and over again. He would just like DM me all these edits. I'm like, bro, I don't rollerblade anymore. I don't like. Why are you sending like literally so much? I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he sent me one. This was like the same time, and it was so weird because it was like I saw you guys there, and then like maybe it was like that night. He sent me a section, and it was Cody Lampman's section, Ashes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I watched it and was just like, oh, dude, I want to skate again. I don't know. It was just, I was super inspired. It was the first rollerblading I'd seen in like years and years. And I was just like, I'm going to get skates. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling about.
No, that's all really interesting. So I knew that you took a break. What was there anything that like kicked that off for you to quit skating for what would you say 8 years or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would skate a P-rail maybe every like year, 6 months or something. I remember at one point like I hadn't skated for a long time, and like Alex and Kenny, I think Alex Schlosser and Kenny Shaver came over and we skated practice rail, and I was like doing 3 soul or like I could do everything still, but I stopped for a long time because it was just like it was a time when it was like really dying off. I don't remember if like I think Hawk had moved away for like college or something, and like a bunch of people kind of stopped skating, and it was just like I just found myself at the skate park like the lone rollerblader with like this super crappy pair of skates that was just like rattly, and like I needed new wheels, and I just didn't have any money. I was poor, so it was like I couldn't afford new skates. Skating's just not fun by myself with these shit skates, and that's awesome. And at some point, I just kind of like I just stopped doing it, and I started to get more into making music, and I felt like I couldn't, like, I don't know, skating was almost unhealthy for me when I was a kid in a lot of ways. I was very self-destructive with it, and like music, I was able to fully like express myself in a way that seemed less dangerous and terrible for, you know what I mean, at the time or whatever. So it wasn't like I made that conscious decision. It just kind of faded away and was just not into it anymore,
So when you say self-destructive, do you mean like, what do you mean by that exactly?
Like when I was younger, like I was just I don't know, I didn't understand like my body. I didn't know why I didn't take care of myself. I was and I was very like angry, and I was like angry in a lot of ways that like when I skated, it was just like I was so mad that I couldn't be as good as everybody else. Like when I started skating, I kind of met a group of people that were way better than me. And I got good fast, but I didn't get good fast enough to like hang, and it was at the time when it was like hammers. And, I just couldn't like, it just made me think that I was just like this. I was terrible. Like I was like, oh, I suck at this. I'm not even good. Like it was like a very self-hatred fueled thing.
Yeah, I relate to that a lot. I mean, I think a lot of people who have skated that long relate to that, because I know a lot of people bring up like skating in the, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s, where it's like hyper masculine almost, where it was like, it's hard to, I don't even know if that's necessarily the right word, but like there was something, it was like just one up culture.
Yeah, exactly.
The videos show that, because it's like you see like El Toro, you see somebody like Fakey 3 at 540, and then you see Happy Fakey 7, and like I mean personally, like I was kind of depressed about skating at that time, to be honest, because I was like, this is it, like yeah,
people would tell you like that you weren't good. Like I mean, it was like if you can't be you don't want to be the Grom. Like it just wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't a supportive culture at the time. It wasn't like
it wasn't like inclusive in any way. Actually,
I thought I sucked so bad at rollerblading. I seriously thought I was the worst rollerblader ever. I look back and I'm like, I could hurricane topsoul. Like, what the fuck? Like, what am I like? Why am I like? I was just so, I don't know. Like you got so caught up in like what everyone else is doing that you didn't even realize like I was amazing and I didn't even know it. Like I just thought I was. I can't do it down a down rail, so it doesn't even count. You know what I mean? Like it was like that. Like,
Yeah, I can't tell you how much I relate to that because like, so like when I first started making videos, I made like a couple videos and I had sections in the first 2 videos, you know. And then we made like the first official Savor the Flavor video. And I remember talking to my friends and I was like, I don't want to do a section. And they're like, why not? And I'm like, I'm not good enough. I can't I can't keep up with you guys.
Sad.
But like looking back, I was really good.
Yeah, I was actually
I totally could have done it. Yeah.
I was talking about a trick that you did back in the day recently where I was just like, that's fucking insane that he did that. You did the 3 like hard way sweat stance on a chain.
Yeah, on the chain. Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, I've never seen someone do that to this day. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was something else. Yeah. Well, like, it was just funny. Like, yeah, I mean, I made a decision at some point where I'm just like, I'm not as good as Aaron Pyle and all the people I'm skating with, you know, like, when it kind of sucks looking back because there's probably a lot of skating I did that wasn't captured on film. I mean, for years, like I made 3, 4 videos where I didn't even skate in my own videos. Like I was just too self-conscious about like, you know, it was just, I just couldn't get over like the self-doubt of it. I just couldn't, you know, until honestly, like, until started skating with Tree, like I want to say like 2013 or 14. And that's because he started to film me a little bit, you know, which was actually a big help because it kind of broke me away from that mold of, you know, being self-conscious. But man, it took a long time for me to be like comfortable in my own ability to rollerblade, which sounds silly because it's really silly, but yeah.
I had to stop for a lot of years and then like build myself back up. Like, and then like when I first came back, I was skating like this old pair of like, it was like USD carbons. I think it was like the Richie Eislers was the last pair of skates I had. And I was like skating a practice rail and I tried alley-oop sole and I tried to 3 out and I just kind of went off axis all weird and went back and like just kind of lightly tapped my head on the concrete and was like, not hard enough to, but I was just like, okay, I gotta take, this is some serious, I can't just be fucking around out here. I'm gonna like take it slow. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna learn how to redo all this. Like I kind of started from scratch and I feel like that made me a lot better too. Cause I didn't like, when I first started skating, it was like, oh, I can sole. Okay, well now I'm gonna try to 360 into it. Like there was no like I'm gonna get the sole good first. It was like what's the craziest thing I can do because everyone else is doing that.
Right. Yeah. You know it's funny because I always think of so like I would learn a trick, but I'd learn sole, but I wouldn't be like, okay, now I'm gonna switch sole. It would just be like, well now I'm gonna do an acid, now I'm gonna do music. So I never learned this switch thing. Whereas like if you look at like Aaron Pyle, I don't know how he learned, but like, I mean, he can do everything both ways. And I wish somebody would have told my dumb ass to like, to skate, you know, to like do that because you'd have just, I mean, you can see the people that kind of did that. They have like just massive trick vocabulary. You know, it's like you could never beat them in a game of skate. Like,
I did it later on, like, and now I feel like I can do most things both ways if I really focus. But like when I first started skating, I thought that like, you do a sole forward, you know, and then you spin. I thought that like if you do your sole, everything was right-footed. So like if I'm doing alley-oop sole, I'm doing it right-footed. If I'm doing true sole, I'm doing it right-footed. Like if I want to do cab true miz, that's right-footed. So I got to just spin. I didn't think about switch spin or anything. I just kind of, that's why I can spin both ways. Because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just like, oh, well, that's how you do that. And I just made myself do it over and over again until I could do it. But like looking back, I'm like, man, I just wish I would have learned how to like do all of the, you know, alley-oop top sole left footed first and like not, you know, like, and yeah, because that it would just open up more possibilities. But I think it also is interesting and it makes it like you're skating interesting to do things both ways. When you're really I mean your recent skating you can really see that like and one thing I like about kind of the way you skate, and it's like another thing I could kind of relate to is like you'll take a trick idea like a Christ grind and you'll push it as far as you can possibly take it. And I like that because it's like you will like look at every avenue it could possibly go until you get to the most interesting point of it, which I think is really sick. Awesome.
Like, do you consciously do that or?
So sort of. There is a reason that I do a lot of Christ grinds, and it's really funny because when I say it, it's just like, oh, that's dumb. But like coming back into skating, people, you know, don't care if you grab, and they don't, you know, but like, it's easier. I used to be really good at Christ grinds when I was younger. I didn't know, and like, it wasn't really cool, but I was just always really good at them. And for whatever reason, I just was like, you know, I'm lazy. I don't want to grab. If I don't want to grab it, it's not that I can't grab it. It's just that, like, I really don't. I mean, freestyle's fine. Certain things you have to do at freestyle. It's crazy as fuck, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, if you, I don't know, like, Christ grinds to me they were just something that I was really good at. So I've just kind of followed the inspiration of like what tricks kind of come to me naturally. Cause some things I was just doing, I'm like, no, that's easy for me. And other people are like, no, that's crazy as hell. And it's just, but yeah, the Christ thing is just, I don't know why it went where it went, but it's just because I wish you know, like, I can grab things, but it's just harder and it makes the trick harder. And like, sometimes I'll do it just to prove to myself that I can. Like, I have like a couple of recent clips where I'm like, I'm going to grab this one. And I'm not the guy who just does Christ grinds, you know, or whatever, but like, I just, like, I just, if you're good at something, do it, you know, nobody like,
yeah.
I try to push myself out of my comfort zone, but you know, like, I love how that trick looks. Like Christ fish on something, it's just it's a cool trick. Like, I don't know.
It's very cool. Yeah, that's funny you say, like, just, you know, do kind of what you're good at, because like we'll all be out skating and filming, and you know, somebody will do something, they'll be like, and I'm guilty of this too, they'll be like, man, but I always do that. Like, I always do that trick. It's like, yeah, but you're really good at it. Like, you know, like, everybody just does what they're good at, you know, which
that's how you get that extra take. That's how you like see that other angle. You're like, well, I've done that 1,000 times. What's the way that I can do that kind of a trick, but in this way? Because, you know, that's the fun of skating, is there are so many tricks. There's so many, like, it's seriously, you know, I literally have like a little notebook that I have, like I have this notebook that I write down tricks I'm like have thought of, I want to try, and I literally will, like, before I go skate, I'll look at it. Because if I don't do that, I'm just gonna go and just do. I'm just like, I have a very weird brain when it comes to skating. I'll just go and I'll be like, all right, I'm at the ledge. All right, soul grind, cool, landed the soul. All right, alley-oop soul, sick, got the alley-oop soul, true soul. Like, I literally just start to, I don't know, and so if I look at this, I'm like, oh shit, that's a really weird creative thing, and I start there, and I'm just like, well, I'll just do the tricks that lead into that, and it makes my sessions like way better than just, you know, so. But it's all tricks that like are like in my wheelhouse. You know, I'm not gonna like put like I try a little bit of everything, but there's certain tricks, like everyone has their tricks that they're not great at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's kind of funny, like, because I think that, you know, people that, like you're saying, you do tricks in your own wheelhouse. I think that makes, if you take that super far over a number of years, I think that makes for some really interesting skating that's like uniquely your own, in a way, where it's kind of like you set the rules of what you're trying to accomplish, you know. That's kind of how because I don't have like a huge trick vocabulary, but like, it is fun to take an idea and just try to go out with all these different ways that it could play out.
Yeah,
and I think that's a great way to look at skating, really.
No, that's awesome. I like the way that you put that, but like, that's how I kind of think of your skating too, in a lot of ways. Because I always see your skating, and I'm like, I want him to teach me stuff. I don't know how you do. Like, I remember I messaged you at one point, and I'm like, how the fuck do you do whatever? You're like, I learned it all skating like flat, and I'm like, okay, I don't. But that's like, I think it's fun to experiment. You know what I mean? But you got to follow kind of your gut on tricks. You shouldn't be. I don't know. You should work on stuff. Like, I think anyone can take a trick and build it from the ground up and become amazing at it. But like, like, I'm not gonna. I want to get I'm gonna get good at tricks so that I can take them to streets. I want to like have a big, like, a plethora of tricks I can pick from. I don't want to go and just be like, well, fuck, I'm at the rail, I can only do top soul. Like, so you know. So I've been working really hard on like just trying to get good at the basics. I think that's something that that's a step a lot of people skip, you know, but it makes you realize what you're actually good at and follow that, you know, easier.
Yeah, I think it really shows in your newer skating that's kind of what you're doing, because just the way, you know, we were talking about the Christ grind, and in the recent section, the fakie 360 Christ toe roll.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, man, that is like something only only he could do, in the way that I mean, I've never seen it done. Maybe it's been done. I don't know. But yeah, I've just noticed like in your skating, I guess we overuse the word matured. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but like, yeah, I mean, your skate, you can see that, you're really starting to come into your own with your skating. Do you feel that way? That just
Yeah, like, and I'll give you a good example that just came to me for no reason at all. So I remember this. I was at the Great Value video premiere in I think it was Cincinnati. It was that park, and yeah,
they tore that park down since. But
nice, of course they did.
Not going.
Typical Ohio parks. But I remember I was off to the side, a little tiny pad on the ground, and I was just like jumping on. I was doing toe rolls. I was doing 0 toe rolls. I was trying to do Christ toe roll for the very first time. And I remember you looking over and being like, "Are you trying Christ toe roll?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think it's possible, but like, I don't know. I just thought maybe I'd try it." And I didn't even get close. I didn't even sort of be able to do it. And from that time, like to now, that's the progression of like, which is insane. But I've still never seen anyone do a Christ toe roll. I've never seen it. Like I haven't seen anyone else do it. And that's, it doesn't mean anything. I'm sure somebody could. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of all or nothing when you put your other foot on the foot and you're like I don't know.
Dude, it's super dangerous. Like especially the way you did it, jumping up to something. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know people say like low impact tricks like that aren't as dangerous. It's like, no, that's dangerous to me. Like, or are you doing an alley-oop heel roll? I mean, to me, that is like, that's terrifying. I mean, you're getting pretty good at those though. So that fear is probably, I guess, kind of leaving you a little bit with a few of those tricks.
Sort of, but there's some weird stuff about that too. That like see like that the cab alley-oop Christ toe roll. That's such a long trick, man. The cab alley-oop Christ toe roll. I was doing cab alley-oop toe roll, and I just had never done it before, and I was like, I think I could do it, and I did it pretty easy, and was like, huh, that's cool. And I'd never done alley-oop Christ toe roll, and so that day I just tried it and did it like first try, really good. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I guess I should try to cab into alley-oop Christ toe roll. I was joking with Hawk. I'm like, yeah, that's the next thing I'm gonna do. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm gonna try it. And I just tried it one time and like literally got halfway and was like, fuck, I have to do it now. Like, oh my God, like this is and then like the same thing with the cab alley-oop heel roll. Like that's literally the most frustrating trick I've ever done in my entire life. And I want to
believe you. I
want to see someone else do it, because that took me probably 500 tries on 3 different trips. And I landed it probably 15 to 20 times, but they just weren't good enough. I wasn't on it enough. Because when you come around, when I'm doing that, it's almost like I'm doing cab true soul, the way that my foot has to swing around. The other thing that's fucked up about it is that when I was doing it, I didn't realize, and this is how stupid I am with skate tech. I think my frames were too small for my skate. I was skating the small version of these frames, the Kaiser Fluid 5s. And it says like on the sizing chart, you can skate, either the small or the large in my size range. But you want to see like the wheel at the end of your foot, right? Like, and mine was like here. So when I was doing it, I had to I was doing it with those small frames. I literally was, I was like literally so hunched over, like in the alley, heel roll that like, I think I was doing it on hard mode with my wheels. I think it would be easier now that because I even like I got new wheels to try this trick. Like that's how badly I wanted to land it.
Wow.
Because I was like, oh, my wheels are old, and if I get new wheels, then maybe I'll be able to grip better, and that way I'll like. And I was right, but also kind of wrong at the same time, because like I don't know, it just.
But you knew you could do it. You just had to figure out a way to like get there, because it sounds like you were like 90% there, and you're like,
and then the other, there's so many weird things where like when I first learned how to alley-oop heel roll, I would do it 180 to the right so I could like look behind me, and then so that same day, the first time I ever tried the cab alley-oop heel roll, I learned alley-oop heel roll to the left, spinning into, because my natural spin, and so like I did that and was like, I really think, I was like just talking to Hawk, and I was like, I think I could do it. And I tried it a few times, just kind of fucking around. It always starts like as a joke, where it's like, I don't know, maybe just try it out. And then I literally kind of stuck one and went, and I was like, oh shit. Like, and then it just kept, and I just couldn't, like, I'm just stubborn. I wanted it so bad. Like, I want to see someone else do it better than me, because the way that I do it too, my feet, right? Like, my left foot is the one I heel roll with. So I think if somebody did it and they did heel roll with the right foot, then it would probably be easier for them, because the way that you're swinging around, depending on your spin, right? I think I do it the hard way, because like I said, it's almost like, yeah, like if I was doing it right footed, you could spin and catch it a lot easier. Or if you're spinning to the right and did it left footed, it'd be easier to catch. But that's shit that I've never heard anyone even talk about or think about or consider, because people don't 360 into heel rolls most of the time. You know what I mean? So
they don't. So like, I remember there was a period when I don't know if it was, I think it was the Razor's video, Steal This Video, like heel rolls were becoming popular. And I think I remember like Charles Dunkel somewhere around that time doing like a 360 heel roll. And I was like, that is the most impressive like trick, man. So like, it's cool to see somebody go back to that like well and pull out more ideas. Cause I think it's I think like heel rolls and toe rolls are just like, I mean, I can't really do it either. They're like just so damn impressive to me. Like, I think it's probably one of the coolest looking tricks to somebody like, if you were just like not skating and you watch somebody skate, you'd be like, oh my God, he's on one foot on one wheel. Like,
yeah, I do them at skate parks, and like, I don't know, it seems like people like to see them. I just like them. It's like it's kind of something like from as a kid, like skateboarding, like people do a lot of manual tricks and stuff, and for whatever reason, I'm just like, I don't know why people don't do more of it. It's fun, and it's like a way to push that's not grind, and so like, yeah, I'm excited that people like all those tricks, because like we're putting together this section. We filmed that in 6 weeks, and it was when like the weather wasn't even that good. We didn't go out that many times, and it was just like, I was like, do I have too many toe and heel rolls in this, or like is that cool, or
yeah,
I'm really happy with how it turned out. Like, it's the best thing I've made yet. So
it is, yeah, hands down. Like, it's definitely the most like dynamic, fun, cohesive section I've seen you make. That makes sense.
Yeah,
You said you write down stuff like in a notebook and stuff. So are you a trick list person? Do you say like, I'm going to get the specific clip? Is that how it?
So I just have like tricks in mind, and I'm not sure what spot I'm going to do them on, I guess. Because like sometimes I'll have a trick where I'm like, I really want to do this trick. And then like me and Hawk will be talking, and he'll be like, you could maybe do it on this spot. Or like we start to kind of, or like it'll just be something I throw out there, some kind of really hard trick or something. And I'm like, if I found the right place to do that at, which is kind of like cab alley heel roll, we were like, I need a little manual pad that's like big enough to where it counts, long enough to where it counts, but it's not like so fucking long you have to like hold it forever. And so those kind of things do play a part. I wouldn't say I have specific. Sometimes I'll get specific spots in mind for tricks, but like, I have like a trick list of just stuff that I'm like, one day I think I could do that on something, and it's super long, and a lot of them are insane, and it's like, but that's like I said, I glance at that kind of, and then one will kind of pop out at me, and then depending on what spot we're at, I'm like, oh, I could do that there. But yeah, I'm super like, I try to be calculated about the tricks that I do in a lot of ways when I go skate, because I don't want to waste my energy on something that I don't really care about. And I also don't want to fuck myself up on something that I don't really care about.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Sometimes you're just like, if you force it, it never works. Like I've had times where I'm just like, I just want to topsoil this fucking handrail, and I jump and I try it, and I'm just eating shit. I'm just having the worst day ever because I just wanted to go skate some massive thing to prove to myself I'm good or something. And it's like, well, and that's why this section was a lot of fun, because it was like there was some big tricks. I still have some big tricks in mind, kind of like that I'm gonna do this summer that like didn't make it into this one, but like this was just me kind of like following the inspiration. And like even like the chain thing is like that's a cool story actually.
Oh yeah, I love that trick. Yeah.
So that was the first day. The day that I did Christ Fish was the very first day I ever skated a chain. I'd never skated one before, and at one point, me and Hawk were like, we were going to different, like looking for spots. We found like this crazy, like really thin wire spot that I tried to topsoil, and I broke it. But like I committed and was like, I was so scared. I was like, literally like, oh my God, this is the scariest thing I've ever done. And like, I committed and grinded a little bit. I was like, I could do it. Holy shit. And then the next try it broke. And I was like, I was just like heartbroken. I was like, oh, there's no way. We have to find a chain. I think I could do it. I could do a chain. And then the craziest shit ever is like, I had like, I don't even know, maybe $100 or something. And I just was like randomly at night, like when I was at night, like, cause this is like all a big piece of thing. Like I put together where like, okay. So I didn't realize that Alex Sams, right? You know who Alex Sams is?
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite skaters. He's in my top 6.
Yeah.
He skates chains, right? Okay. He makes a lot of those chain spots.
Right.
Well, okay. Well, I am so dumb that I watch those sections and I don't even think about that. I don't even consider that he made. I literally was like, holy shit, he found a spot where there's a chain going downstairs and he was able to, wow, that's or like, oh my God, he found a spot where he could grind a chain off a roof. That's fucking awesome. No, like, and Hawk was like, Hawk knows him better than I do. Like we're friends, but like, Hawk's actually friends with me. So he talked to him about it. And like, Hawk's like, yeah, dude, he makes all those spots. And so it just went off and I was like, I'm going to buy a chain, dude. I don't know if I can do it or not, but I'm going to buy a chain.
Yeah.
So I went to Lowe's like on a fucking work night. It was like a Wednesday night. Cause I think, it was like the same night I went to Lowe's and was like looking around and I was like, I don't know how long of a chain I need. I don't know what gauge of chain I need. I don't know what. So I bought 16 foot of the biggest gauge chain that they have. And I was like, you could grind this. This looks good.
Yeah.
And like, and then 2 padlocks. And I also bought like a rub brick and some lacquer. Cause I was like, I was like, I'm just going in. I mean, I'm going to make some spots. I don't know. And, and so, I was at Lowe's and the Lowe's guy, the guy at Lowe's is like, he hears me like, I was talking to like, my girlfriend was with me and I was just talking to her about it. And she was like, I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be long enough, whatever. And this guy's like, what are you going to use this chain for? And I was like, I'm going to try to grind it. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm going to try to grind it. He's like, that sounds like it would be really hard, but I bet you it'll be cool when you do it. I'm like, well, maybe I won't. I don't know. And I literally spent like the last of my money on it. Like it was such a dumb thing. I'm like, why? I just spent like $100 on like.
No way, really?
Well, because like all the shit that I bought, because chains are expensive, dude. It's like to get the big gauge chain. It's what is it? $4 a foot, something like that. So what was that? Like, so I got 16 feet. I don't know what that is. I had to get like
no idea it cost that much. Really, that's wild.
No, it's really not. You could get like 100 and whatever foot chain for like or I'm not 100 foot chain. They sell like 70 is the most you could get, 70 foot chain, but you could get that for like whatever 70 times 4 is. I don't know. So, but it was just really funny because then the next day we go and I should have measured this. I don't know. I'm an idiot. We went back to the same spot that wire was at. I tried to put the chain in the spot and it wasn't long enough. So I was like, dude, I just wasted all this money. And I just like, what a dumbass thing to do. And then we drove around for like 2 hours just looking for stuff to make chain spots with and like couldn't find anything. Eventually just gave up. We went to like our little DIY and just, there's like this perfect guardrail with like a pole and like a little bolt sticking out of it. So made that chain spot. And that was the clips that you saw. Cause yeah, it was just a crazy. And then the second time I skated, it was the ender. That was the 2 first times I'd ever skated a chain. Yeah.
So like, skating chains is scary, but it is really fun.
Yeah. Like, I think it's like a weird. It's like a thing where it's like completely mind over matter. Like you just have to believe that you're gonna actually grind it or something. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I had a friend. We have a friend. My friend Matt Placencia from Pittsburgh. He came over. And he'd never skated a chain before, and we like kind of talked him through like kind of like how whatever. And he ended up doing a bunch of tricks I'd never even seen anyone do on a chain that same day. So it was like anyone could skate a chain, I think you're muted, Ryan. I can't hear you. Or maybe I'm muted. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the
Okay,
Flavorcast podcast.
it's your channel now.
Right, here we
It's
are.
your podcast now.
Oh my goodness.
I'll probably be back. We had probably some internet issues.
Yeah, it's all good.
When did you start skating? I know you kind of went over this, but did you have like actual date when you started skating? Was it around the mode? Demo
Yeah,
day?
honestly don't. I'd say probably 2000. Yeah, it was a couple years after that. So probably 2006, maybe 2005. See, fuck, maybe it was 2004 because I was probably 15 or 16, I think. That's why it's so hard to keep like all that stuff straight. I never thought I'd have to like
Okay.
quantify it later in life. You know what I mean? To be like, oh,
That makes a lot of sense because I never really ran into that's when I was hurt, so I didn't run into you, and then I moved away, so I didn't really start experiencing the happy tooth until recently. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's back.
Cool. I was saying about the chain. I think it was Zach recently was asking me like, how do you start grinding a chain? And I said, because how I started doing it was I would do like a step on Machio.
Yep. Oh no, I don't know if it's.
Oh, he's gone again. Oh, I'm having problems too. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's not me. There's some technical things going on.
Oh.
Which is unfortunate, but we can try to keep this boat going. I was just about to leave actually and refresh. That's okay. We're here now. Oh, and now you can see me. Okay. Yeah, this is acting all kinds of funky.
Yeah, doing it live is pretty hardcore. I always thought people that did live podcasts were kind of, or a little crazy because like I would be freaking the fuck out if something happened. I was like, oh no, it's hit the button. I'm not good with
it. It takes a long time to get over that feeling.
Yeah,
I still kind of have it.
Hi Ryan.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly what you were saying. Exactly what you were saying is exactly what we were kind of talking to Matt about was like doing like the fish, like a maki or a fish brain on it for a second, just to kind of feel that like weight transfer.
Yeah. And then it kind of becomes like a less mystifying thing once you do that too. You're like, okay, I can feel the weight of it and kind of where it's going.
Yeah, even the second time though, I was like definitely shaky, like skating it. I was not like 100% comfortable until like I literally topsoiled it like 200 times the second time we skated, and that's why I was able to do the switch up to true topsoil after that. Was because I topsoiled it 200 times probably. I don't know.
Jeez, yeah, I definitely started by I do think topsides are the way to go on a chain because like you could kind of just jump over and brush your Machio foot over and over, as opposed to like just doing a sole instead of a top sole. Like you got to fully commit to a sole, and a top sole you can just kind of half put your weight on it a little bit.
That's the funny thing about chains though, is I think that like it hasn't been fully explored, kind of like, because everything can be done on a chain. Anything and everything can be done on a chain. It just matters like the approach, the way you do it, like. And I think that's why like it felt insane to be like, I think I could Christ fish this chain, and like because I did top sole and was like yes, and then I did top ass and was like, this is the greatest day of my life. Like I did it. I don't ever have to skate a chain again. And then I was like, though.
Yeah.
What if, I was already kind of in that mode. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it. And that's when I really got hurt a decent amount, was because like that's the most dangerous trick you could do on a chain, forward facing, in my opinion, like to jump onto your other foot, It
is. Yeah, it's full commit there. Have you ever, there was like the period where people grinded tennis nets. Did you ever try to grind a tennis net like that? I literally don't understand like how.
No, I never have, and I think that tennis nets are almost kind of scarier to me than chains, because like I've seen clips of people getting like flexed on that, like because it'll just take your feet out, and it's elastic, so you're just gonna like keep going. I don't know. I've seen some falls where I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. That's not. But if you find a good tennis net, you have to jump high too, which is like the worst part about it, because I could probably get up there, but it makes it easier to miss,
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, I think it's an accidental machines in the montage. Ben Corwin does a back row L5 out on the tennis court net. It's unbelievable.
That's one of the ones that I know of happening. Sight in my memory, because wasn't that in just the original Savor the Flavor?
It was in that, and then it also was an accidental machines in the last.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, I was like, I thought that was in this Savor, like one of the too. Yeah, that's
unbelievable.
Maybe I'd try one day, but like I feel like once you grind a chain, you feel like like you did it. Like that's like the most unstable thing I can think of, because the tennis court net is more like I don't know. There is room to flex either way, but like depending on the chain and how taut it is, and even if you try to pull a chain as tight as you can, it's not gonna be completely tight. Wow, no, they see actually seeing that shit. I'm like,
oh my gosh, there he goes trying. Yeah. I mean, that's how you try it though. Like how he just did was perfect. Like,
wow,
yeah, that's right. I mean, that's how you have to do it. Like, okay, I'm gonna feel the resistance of this. Like, Tree, have you grinded a tennis court net?
No, I've stalled on it. I've just never actually grinded one.
Have you ever grinded a chain, Tree?
Yes, not well. And I also I've skated a chain welded to a rail, and that's amazing.
Wow. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, that'd be cool. That'd be like
that's a pretty good con. Probably a decent way to learn how to grind chains, maybe.
Yeah,
well, like actual chains. That could be fun to build. Actually, it would be a chain welded to a rail.
So, Colin, I have a spot in Dayton that is exactly what Tree just said. It's a low handicap rail. It's down steps, so I guess it's in between a down rail and a handicap rail, but it's low, and it has a chain welded to it. It's amazing, like one of a kind spot. Yeah, you gotta come skate it. Definitely. Brandon Ballog did an X grind on it. Zach did a top acid on it, but like I'm fairly certain you could Christ fish it, like. Because it is low and like
if I didn't, then,
yeah.
I'm obligated to do that on every spot I go to now.
Yeah, that's funny. So, how many sections have you put out? Like a shit ton of sections. I want to say in the last 2 years. Is that right?
Yeah, my first one was it was 2 years ago in like maybe June or July. I'd have to look. It's the one that was on what was it? It was like Blader Union page, but now it's the This Week in Blade page, so it's still there. That was my first one, and then since then it's been like 10. This is the 10th one, but it's also like I have like remix stuff that like people have made remix sections where there's like extra clips in it. I've had a bunch of Instagram stuff. I've had a bunch of one-off edits where like they're like themed, like a guardrail edit or like a DIY editor. So like a lot of stuff, and oh cool, this right here, and I just skate a lot and kind of I get really lucky, I guess. I don't know, like I said, it's almost like I just kind of follow where things are going, and it leads me to the clips. I don't know.
Yeah,
I actually we've started. I have to start making 5 or 6 minute long sections, because if I don't, they're done in like a month or 2 months, and not that that's a bad thing, but it's like I want to stack clips. It's just like I kind of look at the sections as like kind of like a it's just like a time capsule of what you were doing in that point in time. It's not like I don't know, I'm not trying to top the last one. I'm not trying to, it's just not, I'm just trying to skate. I just want to do stuff that I think is cool. I want to do tricks where like in the section I see them, and this just developed in the last couple sections, but I want to see tricks that like would make me go like, oh, what was that? Like, whoa,
yeah.
Or like that's just kind of like what I try to think of is like just what would make me excited, to see in a video that I haven't seen. Or the first section I made was just me trying to skate anything, because it was my first time back skating street. So
yeah. And how do you I mean, it seems like from when we skated last Saturday, I mean, you were just go. Like I don't know how many clips I don't know how many clips you got that day, but a lot. Are you like picky about what goes in a section, or how do you decide what goes in a section? Because you do probably have like a ton of clips to choose from, or I mean, or are you more like, I guess, less picky, or are you more curated with what you put out?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty picky in the sense that like I want it to be landed well. I want it to look really good. I want to do the tricks proper. I don't want to like kind of half step anything. But it's a very collaborative process. With me and Hawk, like that's why I think they turn out so well. Is that like like I pick all the songs and he's like, that's cool, and then like or he's like, that's not gonna work. I can't edit to that. You're an idiot. And I'm like, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I'll like send him something really slow. He's like, dude, I don't, like, but, it's, so we just kind of, just kind of skate and like put it together, and he'll let me see the section as we're working. Like he'll like show me what he's got so far. And I'm like, like, I don't know if I like that one, but most of the time it's like, I like all the clips, it's like everything stays. I don't really, there is throwaway, but it's less than you'd think. Cause like we just go out and like I said, just clips, and then at the end of it all, it's like, wow, you got 3 minutes of footage. Let's just put that together. You know what I mean? It's just very natural. It's very like kind of just happens the way it's supposed to happen or something. I don't know, because we don't try very hard. Like there's a lot of battles. I'll spend times like trying tricks like 300 times. You know what I mean? But like it comes the way it comes, and it comes out the way it comes out, and that's how it is. Like it's less curation. It's more just like we get lucky,
Do you, when you're trying, so like I guess when we were talking Nate Bentley, he was talking about like going deep into like 200, 300 tries, which is just like, I don't think I've ever like got to that point. But do you like, how do you not mentally break going that many tries? Like, is at that point, are you still having fun, or is it just purely like, I've come this far, I have to get this trick?
It's a little of both. I mean, like it's kind of like, it's like a battle, but like I don't know, I kind of like that. It's like I'm ready to like, I either want to be so tired I can't try it anymore, or this sounds insane, but get hurt to the point where I can't try it anymore, because like I don't know, maybe my brain's broken or something. I just am so stubborn. I'm so persistent that like, and I've had this work where like, if I can't land a trick, I've landed a trick on the 250th try. Like me and Hawk have counted at different times. Like he's like, done like you tried that.
Oh my God, dude.
And there's like a weird collaborative thing with that, where like you have to have a filmer who's willing to do that with you. Like Nathan Bentley is alone, so of course he'll try it 300 times. Who the fuck cares? Nobody's gonna tell him to stop. Hawk has to hold the camera and follow every fucking time. And I recently actually filmed most of his new section that's going to come out soon. He had a couple of tricks in there where he tried them several, like about 100, 150 times. And I had to hold the camera, and I got to experience that side of it where I'm like, this is work. Like this is not easy. And like, it kind of put it in perspective too, to where like I'm battling the trick, but Hawk's right there with me, like, or whoever's filming me right there with me, like, same place. Like, holy shit, either landed or die, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, but there's been times where like I roll away like that. My 3 top soul, that's why that's a fun clip for me, because like the very first one you see right in that section, I do soul, transfer, 3 top soul, rewind. That's first try, and I was like, oh fuck, that was like the trick I came here, like I thought of. I was like, that's the trick I want to do, and I did it first try. I still had a sweater on. I wasn't even warmed up, and I was like, damn, I think I could, because me and Hawk were talking about it. He was like, he's like, the only person I've ever seen do like 3 soul, 3 top soul is like Chris Farmer or something. He's like,
19, yep.
I was like, I think I could do it. I'll try it. And then I start trying it, and then it's just like, I'm in there, and I'm so excited about the trick. I want it so bad. Like it's like putting out an album. It's like putting out like any other piece of art. It feels like that. Like I need this. Like if I don't, like, and it's not gonna, like, you also have to know when to give up. Cause like I've I've had tricks where like you have to be able to go, okay, 10 more tries. Because if I don't land it in 10 tries, I'm not going to land. And sometimes, you know what I mean? You get a little closer, but like I've learned kind of there's a good give and take because, you know, I don't know, you know, it's not healthy to go at a trick 700 times, but like if you land that shit, it's worth it. Like, really,
I mean, as long as you don't like, you know, like break yourself off or something, or like, it's totally worth it. It's funny, like, Reed, you sound like when Reed talks about like his mentality of skating, and like, I want to say 2 weeks ago, he posted this clip of him doing a backslide on this fountain. And we went there one day. We spent an hour trying to get it. He didn't get it. We got kicked out by this lady that was like actually restoring the fountain. So we're like, yeah, we better leave. He went back by himself, like bought a tripod, went back the next day, tried it for 3 hours. So I don't know how many tries that is. And then he went back the next day and tried it for an hour and got it. But I mean, yeah, you talk about like filming. I mean, I was filming being work. I was like, dude, I'm kind of hyped that I didn't have to be there for that 3 hour day, because I don't know if I was in it like to 2 or 3 hours. You know, like
that's how it is.
That is some commitment beyond like. I mean, for the filmer to do that.
Yeah, no, that's a thing that like me and Hawk actually talk about. This is so funny because I'm gonna tell this. This is like. So like a trick will like haunt you, you know what I mean? Like if you know you can do something, or it's like this thing, you're like, I could do that. I just got to go and do it. Like I'll think about it over and over. That's what that Cab Alley heel roll was. I was just like, literally that was weeks apart, the different times I went back to that. And I'm just like sitting like late at night, like in bed, like, man, if I just gotta get the right weather, man. Like if it was just like nice out, and because it was like cold when I first was trying that. But even today, right? Hawk has been trying to do this switch up for like a long time on whatever. Like I don't even remember exactly what it is. I feel like a dick because I'm like, he's said it a bunch of times, but it's some kind of like unity. It's like some kind of unity mistrial like thing where he's stepping off the weird foot to do it, but he needs a ledge long enough to do it. He just drove 3 hours to Detroit today, like by himself to skate.
Oh my gosh.
That he knew of because he knew he could do it on it, and he landed it. But like,
he
does shit like that. He's like, I have to go do this right now. Like, I can't stop. I won't stop thinking about, like, the first time that we ever did the chain stuff, he was like, I want to grind a chain. I need to grind this chain. Like recently, like he sweat stanced the chain, but he was like, I really want to topsole it. And he just kept bringing it up for like 2 or 3 weeks until eventually we went and made another chain spot, and he did the topsole on it. And that's in his new section. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it follows you. Like, if you have that kind of a brain, you're just like, I don't know what that is, but like, like it'll just kind of haunt you for weeks. Like, fuck you. Yeah. I have a couple tricks like that right now that I'm thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, like we were saying, going deep on that many tries. Like, it's so weird, but it does feel really good to like almost mentally push yourself to the absolute edge. Like me and Tree were talking yesterday. I was like, I didn't skate for I guess 10 weeks because the broken collarbone thing, and I had so much like nervous energy all the time and no way to get it out. And like, man, and then I started skating this week. I was like, holy, it's like just an unbelievable like release of just like energy that has to come out of me in some way. Like, and I mean, like, probably, I mean, overall, that's why people like create art or exercise in general. But yeah, like I for some reason, for me, it's like I could run and like get a runner's high because, like I've done that before. But like with skating, it's like I have to not only be exercising to a point where it's completely taken out of me, like, degraded me into or pushed me to a point of breaking, but like I also have to have that challenge factor at all times too. So it has to be like the combination of those two things for me to really like experience what I'm trying to go for, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, the way I skate is like it's kind of like there's like a lot of like meditative quality to it in a way, because like it helps me like, and I didn't have this for years, and I don't know what the hell I was doing, because I'm like, I don't know how I wasn't skating for years, because like it helps me like shut my brain off in like a way that like, yeah, you get in like that flow state kind of place or whatever. But it's also like it's been a good it's been a good like exercise to help with my anxiety and in general, because like I have, I I'm an anxious person generally. Like I have some kind of like low grade anxiety, depression, whatever. And like the skating really helps me kind of push myself out of my comfort zone, but in a way that like, I always skate with music. I can't not skate with music. And it's because like if I don't have something to focus on and get me in that state, I'll just be constantly having like these thoughts. Like I've tried to skate without music and I'm rolling up to the rail, the ledge, whatever. And I'm like, you're going to fall. You're going to fall. Smash your face in the ground. You're going to die. Like it's not healthy. I know it's not, but it's helped me like work on that a lot too. Like, I mean, obviously like I found a way to, it's very productive now, like compared to how it was, I guess. But yeah, like there's something really like special about the place that you get in when you're battling a trick, when you're, like nothing else matters. You're not thinking about how you have to go back to work, in a couple hours. You're not thinking about how shitty of a day you had, how, like I don't have money for these bills. You don't care. You're just like, I'm gonna land this trick and this is all that matters. And then that high you get off of that is enough to keep you going for, like days, weeks, whatever it is. You're just like, yes, like I did that. You know what I mean? Like it's addicting. It's like an accomplishment kind of thing, like the addiction to accomplishment, like it's
like the you're saying like the meditative aspect of it. Man, that's true, because like there are days, like if I have like a really good day skating or like on a Saturday or something, I'll go like 6 hours and I'm like, and then I'll reach the end of 6 hours, like maybe a few hours after, I'll be like, oh my God, I didn't like think of anything except for what I was actually doing that whole time. Like I didn't think of anything in my past. I didn't think of anything. I didn't worry about anything in the future. And it's crazy. It's like, wow, I really like almost like blacked out for that stretch of like 6 hours where I didn't even check my phone, like
I was just about
it's crazy because I always like check my phone like everybody else does to get like a weird dopamine hit or whatever. But like skating is the only thing that I'm like, wow, I actually was present for all that, like, which is crazy that I could do that, I guess,
Yeah, that's how I am too. It's the only time that you won't pick up your phone and look at, like, I'll spend all day skating out with friends, whatever. It's like there's not time. There's not time for me to be sitting on my phone. I'm skating. You know what I mean? And it's like it's really healthy. I think I don't know. I wish I could like convince more people to do it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's just like convincing more people to create art in general, really.
Right.
I mean, because I've gotten, like, when I was little, I used to draw all the time. Like I'd spend hours drawing, and like I guess last year, I had knee surgery, so I couldn't skate, obviously. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start to draw again, and I kind of got in that similar like flow state kind of from skating. And I think there's just something universal across art forms that you can, that carries over in that way.
Yeah, because I mean, I was like, I was really into, or I mean, I still am, but I mean, making music, performing music. Like, I mean, you play a show, like you're on stage in front of people, like performing songs you've written. That's a very flow state place to be. You know what I mean? It's, but there's something about like the physicality and the immediateness of skating that I think is what drew me back in, because, you can film something and it's instantly online. And that's not how it was back in the day. You know what I mean? You had to know somebody who had a camera. You had to know somebody who, I don't know. It was a whole thing to, nowadays you can just, everyone has a camera. It's like, that's the awesome part about it too, is that like, I think that's helped me get better at skating, filming skating. Like, So I don't know. I'm just like, rambling.
No, that's fun. No, it's all super interesting. Yeah, so I fight with like that old school mentality of like making a classic skate video and saving clips for super long. And like the crazy thing is, I think about like when we made Too Much Flavor, which would have been like 2008 to 2011. And I'm like, dude, we saved clips for 3 years.
Wow.
Like I could never. I mean, I could never do that again. But like, I do like struggle to break out of that. Like, I don't know. I guess I call it like classic skate video mentality. But I do get a lot out of like working on a long-term project with my friends. I think that's one of the best ways to like build friendships is to work on some piece of art together. And I get that sounds kind of like what you're saying with your how you and Hawk do it. Like you guys are, I imagine you guys have like grown closer as friends because of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me and Hawk would always keep in touch over the years. Like I'd go see him at a random event. He'd come to a show. We've done music videos together, stuff like that. So we were always kind of in contact. But yeah, coming back and like you put a lot of trust into the person that films you, and
Yeah.
I never ever have to. I don't ever even worry for a second that he's not going to get it right or something. And that's like something that I definitely take for granted. I feel like I have like it's a very privileged place to be to like have this person that like he likes my skating and he's down to go skate and film it. And I don't think we even meant to make all those sections. We're literally just hanging out. We're just skating, and he wants to go to a spot. I want to go to a spot. Like whoever was with us, like it's so we. I've gone on more trips with Hawk and Stefan and everybody than it's great. Like, I mean, to have that, I don't know. I didn't have that bond for years either. Like I did in certain ways, like, right. Like I have like a band, we would go, we gone on like I've gone on little tours. I've gone like, but it's not the same as like going on a skating trip. Right. It's like, it's just something so much more raw and like real about like, I don't know, getting in a car with all your friends and being like, let's go to this fucking city. We don't, know anyone in, or maybe we know one person in, and try to get some clips or whatever. And so it's I really do take for granted. Like Hawk is an amazing filmer, and like I don't think he gets the credit he deserves a lot of the times. Like he's been doing it consistently for so many years. It's seriously amazing. It's impressive. I feel like that dude needs to be on some podcasts, right? Like I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of that, I guess this was not too long ago. I saw you posted on Facebook something about like you felt like, or you feel like you're like I'm someone that I feel like I've been underrated in everything I've done, and I kind of agree with you on that. Like, is that like something that's hard? Is that like a hard thing to live with in a way, or it's like how do you? I don't know. How do you square that away in your mind as someone? Because imagine you feel like that with your skating and then also your music. I don't know. I mean, I think everybody feels that in some way, I guess.
Yeah.
I just thought that was an interesting post that you had.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like a self-worth thing, like I definitely struggle with like feeling like anything I do is good enough, and it comes from like that culture of like, growing up, like it's not, like I said, like you can hurricane topsoil, but you can't do it on the down rail. You know what I mean? You're not a real skater. You're not even good. Like it just, it like beat that into my head for so long that like, it's something that I'm definitely like overcoming. I think, I think everybody should try therapy out. I think it's a great,
I agree, dude. I agree.
Great thing to do. It's I don't know, like, I think it's hard to feel seen in this world now, it's everyone's kind of, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people out there and a lot of people are making art. And, I know people who I go to local shows and stuff and see bands that, nobody knows. They're fucking incredible. 2 or 3 times the artist I'll ever be, you know what I mean? And nobody knows who they are. And it's like, why do I think that I'm ever going to get there or whatever? So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's hard to be rated in this day and age. There's a lot of stuff to grab your focus, and we're all living in this like dystopian nightmare world where like we're all just struggling to stay afloat above all of the the shit. And so I definitely feel like this was the most validated I've ever felt for a section. Not that I like am seeking that, because like I said, I just do this because I want to, I need to. But this section, a bunch of people talked about it. It broke 2,000 views. I mean, like, I'm 100% satisfied with that. That's how low my bar is, right? Like, if every song I ever made, every album I ever made, every section I ever made got 2,000 views on it, I would be like, I'm the greatest artist of all time. Like, I've made it. Like, this is it's a low bar to have. It is. That's why that definitely plays in that. Like, I don't have high expectations. It's just like, you put your heart and soul into something and it doesn't go the way you want. And the first 100 times you kind of just get to the point where you're just like, fuck, I have to do this for me, or it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Oh, real quick, I just want to say that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tree.
Oh, just real quick, I want to say that 2,000 is a lot. I mean, if you imagine, like someone put it, like, imagine 2,000 people in the same room.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a big number these days, but it's a lot.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. That's why I said, like, when I saw that this section had 2,000 views, I was like, that is the best I could have ever hoped for. Like, because I've had stuff get good amounts of, even like songs. I've had videos and stuff do really well, but it doesn't. It's funny because after you hit 50 likes on an Instagram post, even, it all becomes meaningless. You don't go and look at all the people that liked it. You just like, oh, X amount of numbers people saw it. Like, it's not going to make you feel any better. It's not going to help you.
Yeah.
But it is funny that, like, when this hit that, I was like, I feel satisfied with that. I'm happy with that. I don't think it could have gone any better. And that's like one of the rare times in my life where I felt like that was this section.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's I relate to everything you're saying there. I mean, kind of like there's like kind of the whole epidemic of like imposter syndrome that a lot of people feel. And like, funny enough, like, I don't know if you know the story behind our last video, the name Great Value, but it's because, like, we would be like, oh, I'm going to do a trick that Colin Martin does, but I'm going to do the Great Value version. Like, I'm going to do the shitty version of it.
I love that.
Yeah. It's kind of like, and that's the whole theme of the video. It's like, I always feel like always feel like an imposter or something. Like you're just, trying to do an imitation of something you really liked or something. But it's interesting because a lot of people who make art feel like that. Like, I don't even know. It might even be the majority of people. So it's even the people you really like, I mean, a lot of them feel like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of artists. I have friends, a lot of artists who are like, I hate everything I've ever made. I hate my voice. I hate this song. I fucking suck. And it's like, it's hard to break out of that. It's hard. It's also because, imagine the other version of that is like thinking that everything you do is amazing and like, like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like, I don't know, that's not good either. So like, but there's a healthy balance, and I think it's one of those things where, like, for me, it was definitely just like the culture of rollerblading in a lot of ways made me like hate myself. You know what I mean? But coming back, it's a lot healthier, and I think that it's the most like community. Like, it's a very strong community, and it's been awesome. Like, I missed everybody that I hadn't seen forever, and there's some people who aren't skating still that I'm just like, fuck, I wish that they would start again. But like,
yeah. Do you think like the online culture of like seeking likes and views or whatever has made certain people maybe quit skating because they didn't get for whatever reason they didn't get the recognition that they thought they deserved? Do you think maybe that was something that contributed to them quitting skating or art in general? Because I kind of do sometimes, and it's like the shame, really. Like,
yeah, I think people need to realize that you can't always like top yourself either, so like, things just change. You have to pivot. You have to figure out a way to enjoy this thing that doesn't require you to have 1 million views on your video or your whatever, like, because it's just you're never gonna feel like good. You're not like, I imagine there's tons of skaters out there, like big level pros, who are like, man, I could come back, but like, I can't ever do what I was doing. So why would I?
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that about Ollie Short at one point. I mean, years ago, and I'm like, why doesn't Ollie Short put out anything? And somebody said, he doesn't feel like he could get to the level he's at. I'm like, man, there's a lot of people who would be happy to see anything from Ollie Short. Like if you have the ability to do something that makes people happy, like bring them happiness, I mean, that in itself, I think, is worthy of doing that.
Yeah, but you have to want to do it. You can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do, and especially somebody like, I don't know Ollie Short or whatever, but who knows what. Skating was different back then. Everything is different. Things have changed dramatically in a lot of ways since then. So like, I totally get the like trepidation and not wanting to, but I think, yeah, everyone should keep skating. I don't know. I just fell back in love with it super hard. And like, I literally at one point remember saying out loud, like, man, it was crazy. Some of those tricks I did on rollerblades, but I don't think I'll ever rollerblade again. Like I swear on everything I said that out loud. I don't know who the hell I was talking to, but I was like, man, I don't know, like it's cool, but like, I don't think I'm gonna do it. Here we are,
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Really interesting. Yeah, well, that was a great conversation. I don't know if you had anything else, Tree, that you wanted to add or anything.
Yeah, we got some questions. We could have Aaron with the new video back in the background here. 1 second.
Nice. Yeah, we made it to an hour and 15, so I think total success.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we could get time for questions. So yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Nathan asks, were there many group sessions while filming for Nail in the Coffin, and did you skate a lot with Brian and Luke?
There was a good amount of group sessions for Nail in the Coffin because for Nail in the Coffin, that was the first time that I was like, hey, let's just stack clips, and I'm gonna make like a 2-song section, and I had so many clips, and we were like, I kind of inspired that video. If it wasn't for me kind of going out and trying to get all these clips, like other people maybe wouldn't have shown up and went as far as they did. And so like, yeah, like Luke and Brian, they definitely filmed some stuff on their own, but like, that's what's crazy is that like, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it was only like 3 or 4 sessions with them to film like their whole set. Like, I mean, it wasn't a lot, like they just threw down. And but yeah, I mean, it was like, it's definitely intimidating to skate with them too, because like they're very good. But yeah, like a lot of stuff that you see in my sections is just me and Hawk. Cause sometimes, we'll go out on weekdays, like it'll be like a Thursday, like, and I got a couple hours, and not everyone can swing that, but like, I literally wish I could have like a 30-person session every single time I skate. I think it's so much fun. It depends on the spot, obviously, but like, yeah, I'd love to have like, roll deep every time we go out. That'd be great, but it's hard to coordinate all those people, and
for sure.
Yeah.
Not a question, a comment. I'm curious what your thoughts on it are. From Headley Lamar, I feel like just putting edits out is great for the whole community and the sport in general. The more we keep putting out footage, the more everyone gets inspired.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Because like, that's the kind of shit that gets me inspired, is just seeing like blading content all the time. Like Ryan was saying, back in the day, you had to wait, and like there's maybe like one video that would come out like, every however many months, years, whatever. And like now everyone can see everything. And so like, especially people that are doing different stuff and kind of innovating, it's like, yeah, like anyone that sees, like I've had people in my own, personal life who have known nothing about rollerblading, like reach out to me and be like, dude, your skating is so good. Like, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, I saw you grinded the chain, man. Like, I mean, it's good. It's really good. Like people, if you're passionate and you put stuff out, and my favorite skaters of all time are people who like, you feel the emotion in their skating. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but like,
makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. Like I have a top 6 of my favorite skaters, but I feel like that's why I like them all, is because it's like something about the way they skate, like it speaks to me in a different way, but like that will transcend everything. And I think like, yeah, all we need is to be inspired. The more inspiration, the more edits, the more people are skating, the more it grows. It's for sure a great thing.
Definitely agree with all that, for sure.
Nate's putting you on the spot. Let's hear the top 6.
The top 6. It's so funny to do top 6. I was like, who are my favorite skaters the other day with Hawk? And I was like, I don't think I could do 5. I think it has to be 6. Way more intriguing than a top 5. Okay, so this is not in any order because I feel like you cannot rank. It's all subjective. It's all art. It's all different. So don't this no order. But one of my favorite skaters is Alex Sams. That's one of them. Yandriel Silverio, Scott Blackmore.
Ooh, yep.
Hold on. Jesus. Write this down somewhere. Jeff Phillip. Who else? Oh, Cody Lampman, of course, got me back into skating, and Leon Humphreys.
Oh, damn, that's a good. Those are all people still skating too.
I could see a lot of your skating, their skating, reflective of your types of skating. Yeah.
I wish it was more, but like I'm not that good. But like I really try. Like but yeah, those are the kind of people that like I watch their skating and I like. You feel it, like, you know what I mean? You watch like a Yandriel section, you're just like, there's something there. It's like it's je ne sais quoi, you know, it's that thing you can't. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just call it like it's like some kind of emotion that's like those kind of people they transfer somehow into their skating. I don't know, you know. That's what I'm into.
That's a good list. I like how it's all like recent skaters too. You know, people who are still putting out content, which is like normally it's just like Aragon, Happy, Shima.
Yeah, I don't like that. Well, I don't like that because I feel like I don't relate to that skating. You know what I mean? And I think that I relate to these guys their skating because you know the way that it's done too. I think a lot of the skating back in the day was like just try to live and just flopping around, and like I really like the controlled aspect. I like trick selection, spot selection. I like thought going into it, you know, and not that those people didn't have thought going into it. It was just like, I'm going to do the fakie 5 top sole on the rail. And it's like, yeah, like, you know, push it as far as it can go. Like that's great, but I can't do that. I'm a normal person. So, you know, but yeah, those are people that I watch their sections over and over again. It's somebody that like, they have replay value to me. Like, I'll watch any section one time, I'll enjoy it, but like if I'm revisiting it, like I love that. Like that's the skating love, you know. So
I'm like that with the basement edits for sure.
Oh yeah,
I just rewatched the hell out of them. So
and I would put the Kelsos in one of my like top whatever, but like I just feel like they're very inspirational to me, but that's a level that is just unattainable to me, and I just. It's like
okay, it is. It's pretty.
Like it melts your brain. Like you're like, I don't know, man. I get it, but I don't get it. Like,
right? Yep, for sure.
Benjamin Sanders asked, "What kind of shock absorption are you running?" And I have a follow-up question to this when you're done as well.
Okay. Hi, Ben. It's so. I have I'm so bad at skate tech. I'm literally like the most skate tech illiterate person ever. I really want to know, but like I was at Rampant Camp recently and I'm like looking at people's skates and with everyone trying to guess what they are. I got it wrong every time. I'm dumb, but I'm using the Flebo buffer right now. But also I have like I think it's the Intuition V2 with like the little heel pad thing in there, but that's it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's some better thing that but like, yeah, I've been using the Flebo buffer for, I don't know, maybe a few months now. And like, hard to say if you notice that or not, but I mean, I've jumped off some pretty big stuff and not felt as whatever with it. But I also do a lot of kind of like knee strengthening exercises. I stretch a lot. I try to like, you know, preemptively keep myself from, I want to do big drops. I want to jump off stuff. It's cool. But like, I wouldn't say, you know, yeah, like definitely just probably the Flebo buffer and riding flat. Because when you ride flat, you know what I mean? You got all 8 wheels to absorb all that, you know, extra smack. So
have you tried Big V?
No, but I'm sure it would work.
All right. So follow-up question is I've never seen you wear any protective gear whatsoever. Yeah. Is there any reasoning behind that or?
So that's funny that you bring that up. Wow, I didn't think like yeah. So I'm apparently I'm a freak for not wearing shin guards, I guess. I don't know. So all of the tricks I've ever filmed have been filmed without shin guards. Because when I was growing up, nobody did that. I came back and was like, we got the shin guards on. I'm like, what? I just I need to feel the movement. I feel like that stuff's restrictive to me, and it almost suggests to your brain that you're going to get hurt. You know, you're almost like and I know this is stupid. I know it's dumb as hell, but it's almost like telling yourself like, you know, I got to put this on because I'm definitely going to eat shit today. Like that's not it. It almost is like when I don't know. I try just to not. I don't think about that. And this is so dumb. I'm going to say this out loud, but I don't hit my shins very often. I'm going to knock on wood or something. But I don't know if it's how I skate or what it is, but it's just not something I worry about. And you know, in my mind, you shouldn't be trying a trick that you think you're going to get that hurt on. I don't know. Like you need to go back and work on the basics and build yourself up. Like you can definitely step out of your comfort zone, but like, you know, if you don't know how to top sole the rail every time, the little P rail, don't go down to the 30 stair down rail. It's not like you have to know your limits. You have to know what your body can do. I think that I just kind of, I take it very seriously. You know, when I skate, I kind of think about a lot of the things that could go wrong. And I think that I talked about this recently. When you're in a park, I feel like you can get a lot more fucked up because you're kind of just, everything's perfect, whatever. When you're in the street,
it's true.
You're hyper aware. Like you're aware of every little crack and crevice, and you're like, and it makes your brain focus in a way that like, I don't know if I need protective gear to like, if I'm out there and I'm in it, like I'm focused enough to where like whatever happens. It's not gonna, if anything, it's just gonna restrict me and make me, and it just puts my brain in a weird place where I've never ever been able to ride with anything. I know people do hip pads now, elbow pads, knee pads, I got helmet. Like that's awesome. I support any of that. I wish that I was that kind of person because it would be a lot smarter. My mom wouldn't be so worried every time she sees me post a clip. But like, it's just, I feel like there's something so raw and incredible about like, just going natural. You just don't like, it's, the danger is there. Like it makes it, I don't know. It makes it real or something. It's stupid. It really is. But like,
I can relate.
That's not stupid.
The exposure does make you, I guess, concentrate more. It's like skating in basketball shorts. It's like,
exactly.
Yeah, if I fall, I'm gonna get, the consequences are gonna be much higher. So I need to pay a little bit more attention in this situation.
Right, and yeah, and that's definitely true because like I've skated in shorts, recently and just been like, well, just gonna try not to fall, and it. But yeah, that's so funny that you'd bring that up. I don't know. I like it all natural. I think it definitely helps out. If I could skate, in sweatpants and make that look good, I probably would. Because like full range of movement, you know what I mean? You got that whole, I don't know. And the pants I wear are too tight to put shin guards under, I think. I don't know, maybe. I just feel like it'd be uncomfortable. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good follow-up question to that. What? So you do have the pants on the tighter side. I want to know the reasoning behind that.
I just, so I don't think that they're that like are they that tight? Like I guess they are. I guess they're pretty tight. I don't know.
I like to wear basically grocery bags for pants. So
yeah, I just like to have them fit. Because I feel like if it's too much like fabric and stuff, like I won't be able to see what I'm doing. Like my eyes aren't very good. I got astigmatism. I'm like looking down at my feet. I got contacts, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where like I need to be aware of my body. And I love people that skate in baggy clothes. I think that it's incredible when somebody can do it and do it well. But like, I just feel like it would get in my way or something. And the one thing I do kind of envy is like, I don't know, this is just the style of pants I've worn since I was, I don't know. This is how I dress. I just wear a shirt. I wear band shirts and pants, just pants that are my size. I don't know. I've never been like, I'm poor too, so I'm not going out and like kind of pants. I'm getting very utilitarian use of pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I gotta wear pants. I guess I'll get this kind. But But I do envy people that can put their pant leg over the top of their skates, because I used to think that was so stupid back in the day. I used to be like, that's dumb looking. I like it now. I think it looks really cool.
Funny, me too. I thought the same thing.
Like slides the skate down to like, here or whatever. And I think that's cool, but I just like, if I had more money, maybe I would be out there just like experimenting with my fashion. But like, I have no disposable income, and I am just like, that's the last thing I'm gonna buy is pants or something. I don't know. So that's my answer.
Oh, you want to buy some $200 pants to skate in?
I wear bright colored shirts, and I'm like, you're dumb. You're gonna ruin this shirt. Like, this shirt is $20, and you're gonna. But yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay, I don't have any more questions. I do. Do you have time?
Do I have
holding
time?
you from anything? Yeah.
No, I have all the time in the world. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. I do want to try something. I want to test your memory, if you will, since you do have so many sections and so many things. So what I'm going to do here is, there it is. Get that guap trailer.
Yeah.
This should hopefully be an easy one. 14 years ago, filmed by Bradley Wilson.
Yeah.
What trick is this? What trick are you gonna do?
I already know what it is. It's a Macchio thread the needle, and then I roll to the end of the curve and 180 out, and then right when I land, Many Men by 50 Cent starts playing.
Let me play it.
Yes.
Look at that. I think those are razors.
Oh,
I got purple pants. I got purple
I
pants.
never
Purple pants, man.
Yeah, I used to wear really tight pants. I'm also wearing a Chiodos shirt. I don't know if you can see.
I feel like if I had run into you like at this point in time, like I wouldn't, and then run into you today, like I would not be able to be like, oh yeah, that's Colin.
Right?
This looks like a totally different person.
Yeah, that's the other reason it was really fun to come back under a different name, because it's like people are like, oh, this new unknown skater is just coming out of nowhere. I skated before. That's funny. Different.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Let me turn this off and let me load up another one. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm not terribly prepared for this, but it's something I did want to do.
That whole video is just me falling on the same trick over and over again. So it's very prophetic.
All right, I'll try to make it a little bit harder.
Right, that one I was like,
this one, this is too recent. You'll know this one. Here, I'll make it a little bit harder. Okay, we'll go with this picture here. So I know if you saw the obstacle, you'd know it right away what trick it was. But this is a little harder. So what trick did you do, and what skates are you wearing too? This is from Happy Tooth Morgue from 7 months ago.
Is this so this is a trick? This isn't like just like a random B-roll shot?
There's a trick that happens after this at this spot, yes. This is just, I mean, if anybody's listening audio only, which I don't know why, but there's something on the screen.
Fuck, it's Livingston. It's the Livingston rail, Yorktown middle. What's funny is where I was talking about where I learned how to ollie on a skateboard was the parking lot across from that was where my dad lived. It's hilarious. I don't know. It's just random stuff. But my arm's dirty on that because I fell trying Christ fish, and it was at the King of Ohio, I thought. So, I only did so many tricks when I was at a top porn on that rail. Is that what it is?
I'll find out. What skates were you wearing?
And I was wearing my black 909s, and then they had like orange lace, maybe. Yep.
Yeah, one orange lace. That good.
Hey,
I was literally just guessing.
At the King of Ohio.
Yeah.
Wow. That was actually hard. I was like, what trick would be in that? It's because this is the throwaway section of like all the throwaways from Nail in the Coffin. That's why
that's very impressive.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep this going if you want to.
Give a super hard one if you could find one.
That was still pretty hard because I was like, no, that's the Christ fish. What do you mean? I don't know. What did I do? Did I land anything? Yeah, some of these would be really hard because like I haven't.
All right, you nailed that one. All right, that's up the difficulty then. All right.
Yeah, you gotta pick a random section I haven't seen.
All right, Happy Tooth unemployed 1 year ago.
This was a good section.
Red shirt. Do you might know?
Oh, just from this right here?
Just from this right here, yeah.
Oh shit!
Last level.
Oh man. Wait. It's a trick on the guardrail spot that I skate. Fuck, I don't know. I did like a misfit on that. Maybe that was the trick, or a true misfit was on the guardrail spot. I'm literally just guessing.
Okay. What skates were you wearing?
It'd be the black 909s, right? I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I think no. Shit, unless I had the sways at that point. I think maybe. Okay, I'm gonna say USD sways. It's the guardrail spot that we skate. It's just like by train tracks. I don't know what trick I did, but I did like a true misfit, I think, in this. Maybe I didn't. It was another one. I have no idea. This is really hard. It's like the worst trivia show ever.
All right, true misfit guardrail. I haven't even seen what the clip is, but I think you might be right. True misfit on a guardrail, wearing sways.
Yeah, USD sways.
All right, final answer. Let's see.
No way.
No.
You did the top. It was a guardrail spot though.
That was crazy. See, I don't even think I did that in this.
Topside.
I skated the guardrail on like 2 sections in a row or something. I couldn't remember. Wow, these are all. See, like I forget.
All the topsides and unities.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, I honestly.
There might be a true misfit in here.
No, I don't.
I mean, it's got to be hard to keep up with all the tricks you do. I'm sure.
I honestly just don't even know what I'm even capable of doing anymore. Like I see some of these clips and I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that trick. That's crazy. There's so many tricks, you know. That was awesome. That was so hard. I can't believe I even got the spot right because I was looking at the background and was like, kind of looks like that building. That's it. Yeah. My memory is not the greatest.
Okay.
2 out of 3 though. That's not bad.
That was. I mean, you knew what spot it was just from. There wasn't a lot to go by. I mean, what you're wearing and just a little bit in the background.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
I rewatch my sections over and over again, just study them.
Oh, I do too. All right, we got 45 seconds with Colin Ward. This is an amazing section.
It really is. It's some
12
random...
years ago.
Yeah.
But goddamn,
I remember that.
I saw this. I was like, geez, yeah, these
there's some
been around for a while.
Insane.
All right.
What trick is this?
What trick? What skates?
Oh wow, the skates would be the hardest thing ever. I think I was skating the Rems like open shell things that they had. They're like the black and white open shell skates. They were called OS. I don't know that's what they were called.
I remember those.
The Rems OS. And this is
so. You are right. You are right about that. That is
really already.
Yeah. Do you remember what frames?
Oh, there's no way. Anything that I skated was stock because I didn't ever change my frames. I never even changed sole plates. I would literally just grind them down to like they were nothing, and I didn't realize that you were supposed to change parts on skates. I was just, but this is maybe a 3 sole like lefty, but I don't know. It's either 3 sole or a 450 front far where I don't do it very well. And maybe and then like I 3 out of it or something. I don't know.
All right, let's check the tape.
Not even close.
Oh, Unity.
It was a true Savannah. That was not
Trunity.
Well, disaster background.
Yeah,
let's watch young.
I was gonna say, watch these tricks in this.
12 years ago. How old were you 12 years ago?
I'm 33 now, so 21.
Wow.
Yeah, like right here, I just fakie 7 the spine to flat. It wasn't the flat. I thought I like, you know. But
still, just the busted right casual fakie 7.
Hurricane topsole.
Hurricane topsole, which is cool.
Would that be a natural? That would be. Would that be
the ender's the? I'm still proud of this to this day.
Dude.
Woo!
Wow.
Dude, dang.
Yeah.
55 soul.
Yep.
Wow.
Man, that's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, this is just from like so on my like link tree. There's like a link to a playlist of all of my edits and all of the so that's what I think he was pulling that from, but that's awesome. That's why I did that, because most skaters aren't going to do that. They're not going to put all their stuff in one place where you can find it. You're going to have to have you ever looked up I've been wanting to see a bunch of Scott Blackmore footage.
Oh, it's hard to find.
It's so hard to find, and when you
half of it's dirt box stuff. Like if you find the dirt box archive videos of him and Harry Abel, you can find a lot of it. But
have you ever seen the Residence videos?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's 200 plays on some of those.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. There's literally NBD tricks in those that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What do you just do? Where they're just skating whatever's in the room or whatever. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
So I always remember, is it his one section, the last big long section that he had was is it called Strangers Like You?
Yeah.
something like that. That man,
the
that's
main
to
section.
me was like amazing. I mean, I got to go back and watch that. That was an incredible.
I watch it all the time. It's awesome. And like also it's
Great
awesome.
music.
Like one of his friends did the song for it too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so cool. Like I love
So
that.
great. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome section.
All right, I got one last one. It's gonna make it hard.
Okay.
And this is not you. This is Vinny. But you are in
What
the
did
edit.
Vinny do?
You are in the edit, and it's a Vinny trick, so it's gonna be really hard because who knows what Vinny does. And you can see his. I don't even know what is he wearing razors with wish frames on there.
Okay.
Something
I
like
don't.
that?
God, what is he gonna do? I have no idea. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything. I feel like he's gonna do something where like he does some kind of torque and like drags his foot on the
Yeah,
inside.
that's what it is. I bet you that's what it is.
Like he does some kind of thing that's indescribable, some kind of like a
Yeah.
trick you can't name. Either that or he's doing like a really low topside trick.
He's doing a low top sole or something.
That's so funny.
Okay, let's play it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
literally-
You're absolutely right. Dang,
He's at the front torque with the. I literally guessed it. Oh my god.
that's incredible.
Seriously,
I mean,
I've seen this
the
edit
trick is
many
incredible.
Wait, what did he do? A
The
front torque?
fact that you remember that, that's amazing.
Front torque with a backslide drag?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it's like a unity, but it's like a torque and a backslide, but doing in the Savannah. I'd say alley unity, but yeah.
So hard.
Maybe I'm just like Rain Man with like edits or something because I honestly watched this one time. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. And I was just
I mean I often surprise myself with how much I can remember from like a skating thing. I think it's probably because like for me I'm more engaged and I'm really taking things in.
Yeah.
And focused, I guess. So
Yeah.
maybe that's part of it.
And like I don't know, your brain just remembers certain, especially when it's your friends. I think.
Yeah.
I just kind of could guess what Vinny would be doing in that position, the way he was rolling up.
Oh jeez. All right. One last one. What is he gonna? I don't even know what he does after this. I mean, I think he's gonna drop the fish.
Yeah, he's good.
The top side.
Fish, yeah.
Gonna do some step back.
What else? It's not gonna be just that. I don't know. We'll just find out. Vinny's an interesting guy. Drop fish.
Oh, it's a unity. Who saw that coming?
I never would have predicted that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Vinny needs a podcast, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so funny. That dude is so funny.
There's a lot. I think there's a lot of people that are deserving to be in the spotlight that just
you guys are doing the
aren't
Lord
really.
You're helping out. I love the unknown angle that you guys are going for, trying to do people that people don't get. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. And thanks for having me on. It's crazy. I really appreciate it.
It was fun, man. Super fun.
Yeah, I don't know what I said. I probably rambled.
I don't know what the hell I said. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't really get into your music terribly, but I did want to say that I do enjoy it. It's it has the flavor of the Anticon label and also very poetic most of the time, I would say. So definitely give him a check out. Let me post the link tree in the chat here.
And I actually do have a new album that's getting finished up right now. It's like a split album I did with another local artist and the guy who produced my last thing. And so, I'm not trying to like push it super hard, but if people want to check it out, it's cool. I've made music for a decade plus, and I have a band called Happy Tooth and Doug too. That's a 6-piece that we put out a record in 2019. It's like my favorite thing we've ever done. Really good stuff. It's different. Thank you for mentioning that, Tree. That's awesome, dude. Thank you. And I remember when you came up to me and said, I checked out your new album and I really liked such and such. Like that was really cool. It really meant a lot. And it was just kind of out of nowhere. So I was just like, wow, like that's, and you, Ryan, too. Thank you. You also said that you checked it.
I liked it a lot, the recent album. I listened to it today, actually. So
Thank you. That's crazy.
I definitely want to use one of your songs one of these days for like a section. What as a music, as a musician, what if other skaters would like to use your songs? What would they need to do to do that? Or could they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A million times over. Yes. Use whatever you want. I don't know how much of it's actually skating adaptable, but like on this new album I got coming out, there'd be a couple that for sure would work. But what's funny is the only person who's ever used one of my songs was me. And then Also, Matt Lyon, Hood Panda, actually used one in one of his street sections. He used my song "Eat the Rich," and it worked really well. So like that was a really crazy moment. He just messaged me and was like, "Can I use one of your songs?" I'm like, "Yeah." You don't have to ask me what. Like, but yeah, I mean that would be really cool. But also, yeah, like it's weird. You know, I kind of jump all over. There's not, you know, a lot of my stuff is not. It's not skate music, maybe. I don't know. Like some of it is, some of it's hype, but like, yeah.
It definitely is.
Do you have a target audience with your music?
I don't. It's literally whoever wants to listen to it. I just make it because I just, you know, like it makes me feel less insane to have something to like focus on. And like I said, I got a new album coming out, but I've actually like, you know, I've pivoted in a lot of ways to where like I'm like I've played a lot of instruments over the years, but I'm actually learning how to actually play piano right now. Like I have a friend who teaches piano for a living. He's giving me lessons, and so it's been cool because I've always played a little bit, but now I'm like really going into it. And so like, you know, it's just same thing as skating. You know, like you got to keep it interesting, and it's just cool when anyone listens to it. You know what I mean? If you take the time to listen to like a half a second of a song, you're like, this sucks. Like, I appreciate that. Thank you. You know what I mean? It's all subjective. So,
okay. This is the last question that I have for you. Dream music collab.
Dream music collab. This is so funny because like I could already do this, but I just don't think I could ever write a song good enough to like go to have this person be on it. But this is so completely obscure. But one of my favorite band is an Australian band called the Smith Street Band. And it's like pop punky kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. He sings in his Australian accent. It's very like the lyrics are amazing.
It's good.
Me and this guy have a lot of similarities too. Like we have the same birthday and like all sorts of shit. So like I would love to collaborate with him. His name's Will Wagner. But I've actually like sort of reached out and asked him like if that was a thing you could do, and he's like, yeah, like sent me an email. And I had the chance to. I haven't written a song good enough that made sense for him to be on it. You know what I mean? But like that would probably be it. It's always just like your favorite musicians, right? You know, so some random guy in Australia. That would be my dream collab.
Sweet.
That's awesome, though. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I don't think I have anything else. Do you, Tree?
No.
I have one question.
Okay.
Who's the next guest?
Oh God, I don't know.
Obama. I don't know.
Gonna get Obama.
Also,
I've been trying to get Obama, so I think I'm gonna get him. So.
Yeah, he's very underrated. People don't really know. You know, he's pretty slept on, especially in the skating world.
Yeah, that's I just want to say Nathan Chase said, check out Wax. I do know Wax, and I like Wax, so that's awesome. Though that you know, see, it's all in the same vein. Sasha Sims. It's in the, that's. I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Have you guys reached out to anyone and they've said no?
No, but I haven't really reached out to that many people. I mean, I would totally get if someone's like, no, I don't want to talk live, and like, I don't want to have an hour whatever conversation with you. So no, but like, I wouldn't feel like, oh, they I got rejected. I would totally get it. But
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we have a tradition that we need to keep up. What fruit would you relate yourself, or what vegetable would you relate yourself to the most?
What vegetable would I relate myself to the most? I remember I thought it was like, what vegetable would your skating represent was the last one that you guys
that was my initial thing, but that's where my mind went. We can answer both too. That's fine.
Okay, I'd say vegetable eggplant.
There you go.
Okay.
Aubergine. It's a dick joke, but yeah, eggplant.
Eggplant emoji.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
If it was a fruit, then it would be a pumpkin.
Okay.
So pumpkins are fruits, and they have guts. You know, pumpkins got guts. So
everything's a fruit, really, man. Jeez.
Right.
Everything I thought was vegetables have become fruit. They've not changed at all.
Yeah, I thought pumpkin was a vegetable until I recently found out it was not. So I don't know. All right, cool.
Very good. It was fun, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is my first skating podcast, so happy to be here.
Thank you. It's mine too.
Well, I can tell. You seem like you've done it before.
Oh, yeah, you're an amazing guest, though. I do love the atmosphere of your room too. Very, and the audio quality.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
But I would expect nothing less from a musician. So.
Cool. Yeah, I try. So, all right. Well, I'm sure I'll see you guys soon. I'm sure we'll skate together soon. So
we'll skate. We'll come up to Columbus for sure soon. So
okay, and then
Come.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to go to Cincinnati more. So
okay. Yep. For sure. Just let me know.
All right. Well, I don't know how to end this, so you guys end it. And I just...
Your guess is as good as mine. Have a good night or good whatever, everybody, whenever you listen to this. See ya.
Bye. I love you guys. Thank you again.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Yep. Later.